Mania.
Since 1912, Fenway Park has been the scene for some of the most dramatic and historic moments in baseball history. From the splendid splinter to Pudge, Bucky'd End to the idiots in '04. Boston baseball fans have seen it all. But today is for football fans. The grounds crew have rejiggered the configuration and overlaid a gridiron over these hallowed grounds. Louisville and Cincinnati renew their battle for the keg and ales in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl, all part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Coming up next on ESPN. Hi everybody, I'm Chris Cotter alongside one of Boston's favorite adopted sons, Mark Hertzlick, otherwise known as Nanook of the North, here today. It is a bit chilly, but we have no rain, and that's a good thing. I'll tell you what, the coaching carousel with these two teams has been unbelievable these last couple of weeks. You had Scott Satterfield leaving Louisville and going to Cincinnati. Jeff Brom coming back home to Louisville. Now, neither of these coaches will coach today, but we will hear from them later on in the broadcast. What we will have today, though, are interim coaching staffs for both these teams. That's going to make it interesting. And when you think about Louisville, hey, another one of Boston's favorite adopted sons, Deion Branch, is going to be coaching that team.
Yeah, Deion Branch, he's got called up. His name was called to be this head coach, this interim head coach for Louisville, and he's embraced it. Talking to the players coming here to Boston, seeing that the involvement from fans around Deion Branch. But man, are you with Deion Branch? That's been their week, but their week has also been comprised of a bunch of work from a bunch of unsung heroes. A lot of the GAs, quality control guys, have really stepped up getting their players ready for both teams to play in this game.
There's somewhat of a local legend coaching the Cincinnati Bearcats in this game on an interim basis. For more on that, let's send it down to Kelsey Riggs on the field.
Yeah, Kerry Combs knows all about Cincinnati, and so he knows all about this rivalry. These two schools separated by just 100 miles. This rivalry started back in 1929, guys, but it hasn't been played since 2013 when Louisville last won the Keg of Nails. That's right, it is the Keg of Nails rivalry, signifies the toughest team, and Kerry Combs wanted to make sure his guys knew all about the rivalry, so he gave them all in a meeting this week a miniature Keg of Nails underneath their seat, told them the pride that comes with playing in this game. And when I got to talk to All-American linebacker for Cincinnati, Ivan Pace, he told me, now that I know that they have it, I don't appreciate it. I want to bring it back to Cincinnati. We'll see. We'll have the Keg of Nails down on the sideline.
Yeah, thanks, Kelsey. It has been a while since these two teams have met for that rivalry, all the way back to 2013, but they will meet today in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. We are just about ready to kick off. This bowl had been scheduled over the last couple of years, but because of COVID difficulties and whatnot, they hadn't been able to play it. So this will be the first Wasabi Fenway Bowl in this great stadium. Louisville won the toss. They elected to receive. So Bryce Burton will kick off for Cincinnati. Toe meets leather, we're underway here in Fenway. Jawar Jordan with the fair catch for Louisville, and the Cardinals will get an opportunity, Mark, to see this offense. No Malik Cunningham, been banged up really for much of the year, which gave Brock Domon an opportunity to get some starting reps, and he's going to be the starter today. Yeah,
Brock Domon, I mean, we called his first game starting at Virginia this year, and he came in and he played really well. And I think that was kind of a surprise to some of the Louisville fans of how well he was able to conduct that offense and really started to lead the turnaround of the season. This Louisville team, a shaky start, but then 5 straight wins in the middle of this season, and a lot of it was sparked by Brock Domon.
Speaking of a spark, Jawar Jordan, the tailback, he came in really to be the #1 guy over the last few weeks and has been outstanding. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage and goes incomplete on first down. Braden Smith was the intended receiver for the Cards.
Yeah, this wide receiving core for Louisville, really for both teams. You're going to see a lot of guys that some names like a Braden Smith, but then you're going to see some other new guys as well. Tyler Hudson, the star receiver for this Louisville team, is opted out of this game. So we're going to see some contributions for some other folks.
Here's Jawar Jordan on the carry. Give him about 5 on first down. It'll bring up 3rd and 5. And Jordan, one of those backs. You mentioned the receiving cores for both these teams missing some key components. Tyon Evans was a running back that was the #1 back for Louisville at the start of the year, injured, and really over the last 3-4 games, Jawar Jordan has taken over. He's been really good.
Well, Jawar Jordan, I mean, this is a guy, he transferred in from Syracuse before last season, got a little frustrated, and it was noticeable last year not getting as many carries. This year with the injuries, it's been all him. He's been phenomenal.
Doman to throw on third down. Now flushed out of the pocket. Almost intercepted, and it falls incomplete. Arquan Bush on coverage. Great coverage that time, forcing a fourth down.
Well, Arquan Bush, the senior cornerback out of Cleveland, Ohio, I mean, he had a beat on this. Really tight coverage. And yeah, man, lucky that wasn't picked. Great job of stepping in front and knocking that ball away, and a quick 3 and out that this Cincinnati Bearcat, Black Cat defense, as they like to be referred to, forced.
Mark Bassett in the punt for Louisville. Both these punters very good. Bassett averaging over 44.5 per kick. Pressure comes, they may have got a piece of it. Cincinnati got a piece of that punt. And it'll be touched at the 42-yard line. So great field position for the Bearcats in their first offensive possession. Wilson Huber with a hand on it.
Yeah, look at this. And stuff happens all the time in bowl games, right? You see Wilson Huber, number 2, getting his hand up there in on the football. You know, you worry about the wind, but you got to get past some hands first. That's a big play.
Think about special teams. Both these teams outstanding, but Cincinnati, special teams player of the year on their punt team, their punter. Very good on that side of the ball, but great field position for the Bearcats and Evan Prater from the Louisville 42. Up the middle, that's Charles McClellan. Picks up a couple. Monty Montgomery, great linebacking core here for Louisville.
Yeah, it is, and you know, we're going to see a lot of active linebacker play from both teams. And you know, we talked about Louisville and how, you know, they're without their starting quarterback. Well, you know, Ben Bryant, who's been starting most of the season for Cincinnati, he's out as well. So Evan Prater, number 3, you're going to see a lot of him. He's very athletic, very active with his legs. He's wearing that number 3, and when they do wear the red jerseys, kind of reminds me of Malik Cunningham, the way he's able to get out of the pocket and make some plays happen.
Like right here, has room up the middle. Close to a first down, picks it up inside the 30. Desmond Tell from his nose tackle spot chased him down from behind, but that gives you an idea of Prater's running ability. Yeah, right on cue too, and you see the D-line movement, right? You're going to see a lot of this. Both of these teams are odd front defenses, meaning they're going to stunt and slant a lot of these defensive linemen. Whenever that happens, linebackers have to be really good because these mobile quarterbacks can use that get out. Prater did that, got a first down. Prater made his first career start in their last game against Tulane. Now in the gun, looking to throw pressure off the edge. Couldn't connect with his receiver. That was tight end Shimon Mateer. MJ Griffin from the safety spot applying the pressure.
Yeah, and you know, they brought it, right? You see off this left side, you got 2 guys coming off the left. You got Yasir Abdullah, Chandler Jones coming off the edge, and you know, just a really good job of getting there, timing up that pressure, forcing the incompletion.
Second down and 10 for the Bearcats. Again, pressure. Prater forced in the pocket. He's going to be sacked. The falls on football. Still loose. Still on the ground. A big strung for it near midfield.
It looks like Cincinnati came up with it.
Might have been Chris Scott.
Wow, man, it's just like, what a heads-up play of jumping on this football. But again, you see a little bit of this slants. Ashton Gelati, number 9, just manhandled the offensive tackle. And then you see Diaby with a chance to pick it up. Minkins was right there, and then, man, Cincinnati fell back on it. And
how about that? Chris Scott, the receiver, out of his pattern, all the way back into the backfield to recover the fumble, but it does set up third down and forever.
Yeah, and you know, this is, you don't mess up. It's either a go shot or screen ball, probably.
Louisville brings the house up the middle. Prater just has to get rid of it, has a receiver. That gets some of those yards back with Will Pauling. But with this swirling wind, Mark, it certainly is going to have an impact on decisions in the kicking game.
Yeah, and to me, honestly, this is a let's go for it.
Yeah,
and
too long.
You don't want, it's too long almost to go for it, but it's too short to punt it, and too long to kick a field goal. So let's take a chance here on 4th and unadvisable.
Yeah, well, it'd be a 53-yard kick.
Yep. With
a kicker who hasn't attempted a field goal yet this year. Here's the screen, incomplete. So Louisville's defense, after the partially blocked punt, stands, and they'll get the ball back. Still scoreless here early at Fenway. Player Spotlight brought to you by Amica. Brock Doman taking over as the starting quarterback for Louisville. You can see his journey, and it has been adventurous. Out in California, San Bernardino Valley College. You had Ventura College in there. The Campbell Camels at one point in time, and now the starting quarterback here in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. And second opportunity in the game for this Louisville offense. Fake to Maurice Turner. Doman trying to run, has nowhere to go. Brought down that time by Jaheim Thomas, the linebacker spot. More on Doman. Let's send it down to Kelsey.
Well, guys, I got to catch up to him with him this week, and he said this is truly a dream come true to play in this game. And just in years, he put in work and was believing that eventually it would pay off. He said he's really grateful for the journey to figure out not just who he is as a football player, but also as a man. And he is excited that this isn't his last year. He's still got one more.
Cardinal fans are excited about that too. Looking to throw over the middle. That one's going to be intercepted. No, they're going to rule it incomplete. Javon Hicks came up on it. That pass was nowhere near his intended receiver, and Hicks couldn't quite make a play on it.
Yeah, Javon Hicks is saying, let's look at this again. You see the... the ball does hit the ground. The ball can hit the ground as long as it's in possession of the receiver's hands and then does not move. And it did look like the ball was securely held between those two hands, and
yeah, they'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
He had the one bobble,
yes,
and then he looked like he secured it. And to your point, Mark, it did hit the ground, but it can do that as long as it stays secured in his hands, and that's what Coach Combs wants an explanation on.
And first of all, on the throw, you got to get a little bit more separation from Carter, the wide receiver. But let's watch here. Obviously, the initial bobble,
charge timeout to Cincinnati.
And then it does, at the very end, when it does hit the ground, it looks like it dislodges a tiny bit. It's going to be a close call.
Our referee, Jeffrey Serbinsky, speaking with replay official Tom Herbert on this one. First opportunity of the day for replay official. Tough call, though, Mark. That's a real tough one.
It is, and, obviously, remember the call on the field is that it was an incomplete pass, so it has to, we say this every single week, and you probably heard it 1,000 times, but obviously it has to be inconclusive evidence that this was an actual catch to overturn it. I think the call on the field will stand with that little bit of movement right at the very end.
There is, you can see when the ball hits the ground, there is just a fractious movement of it.
Yeah, Javon Hicks, 2 interceptions on the season. One of those went for a 45-yard touchdown versus Kennesaw State.
Hicks, one of a number of players, not only from the Cincinnati area playing for this Bearcats team, but Colerain High School, and that's where Coach Combs coached for so many years.
On the field of an incomplete pass is confirmed. Incomplete. It is 3rd down.
So Jeffrey Serbinsky letting us know that the call is confirmed by the replay booth. Incomplete pass. There's Coach Combs. So many years as the head coach at Colerain High School in suburban Cincinnati. A few years at Ohio State. This is his 2nd stint at Cincinnati. Special teams defensive backs coach before being named the interim coach a couple of weeks ago for this bowl game. Going to stay on. Be a part of Coach Satterfield's staff next year. Stretch play. That is quintessential Louisville football. And he fumbled the ball, but Maurice Turner was able to bring it back.
Yeah, it looked like for a second Maurice Turner had a little running window, but brought down by Ivan Pace, the All-American linebacker. Look at that shot. Fenway Park.
Gorgeous. So unique. Louisville now 2 3-and-outs to start this game on offense. Corey Kiner back to receive this punt. This time they get it away, and it's a good one. Line drive kick, dropping. Kiner all the way back inside his 20, and then fielded inside the 10.
Let it roll a little bit. Try to get it down there farther. Just because you're standing at the 2 doesn't mean that's where they're going to put it, my man.
Rough field position for Cincinnati. We're scoreless when we come back.
Hobby Hot Cloud Storage, built to store the world's data. Tax Act, file for less and get more. And Farmers Insurance. Get a quote at farmers.com.
Mark, I was looking for you in that BC team picture. I couldn't quite make you out.
Not quite that old, Chris.
Not the first football game played here at Fenway, but the first Wasabi Fenway Bowl. And you look at what these two teams have done in our season in review. Brought to you by Wasabi. Louisville got off to a rough start, but then they really picked things up. They won 5 of their last 7. Cincinnati, meanwhile, 3 losses, all by single digits. So, including their last game against Tulane, which was a little bit of a heartbreaker because it prevented them from playing their way into the American Athletic Conference Championship game. Second offensive possession for the Bearcats. Nothing doing. That Cardinal defense just swallowed up the ball carrier, no gain.
Nice play up front there. Big number 93, Jared Dawson. Look how this field is set up. You know, they did a pretty good job of making this feel like a football field. They put turf over the base path and kind of set up so it's leading into that right field.
Prater to throw. Has time, has a receiver open. That's Blue Smith. Makes the catch, and he's right at that first down marker. Might be a yard shy.
Yeah, nice throw by Evan Prater. And I watched him throwing in warm-ups, and yeah, we saw that rollout pass earlier on that third down and very long, and he's really pretty good when he's rolling out to his right or when he's in his pocket. Struggles at times to his left, so that's when you see more of the scramble. And on 3rd and 1, got to imagine going to try to keep it on the ground, although Louisville has just stacked the box.
McClellan trying to find that yard to gain, and he got it. Hard running up the middle by Charles McClellan. And Cincinnati will move the sticks. This area of the field, too, Mark, keep an eye on it because this is where the infield is for the baseball diamond, and they've covered it up with sod, but obviously, you know, you're not going to get it to take in the short amount of time.
No, yeah, and I went down the field pregame and just kind of like tried to grab up some of it. It did stick, but it's a little bit slick on the spots where that new sod is planted down.
Spin move by Corey Kiner. Picks up maybe a yard. Desmond Tell in the middle for the Cards. Look at the field here at Fenway.
I'll tell you what, the grounds crew here, it was not easy to get anything going right with grass in December in Boston. And they really did a good job.
And throw in a ton of rain the last 24 hours here in the Boston area. So Kiner and Montgomery both in the backfield for the Bearcats. Prater will throw. Pressure now up the middle, picked up initially. Prater can run, and that's what he'll decide to do. A lot of room toward the sideline, out of bounds for the first down.
And that's just what makes him so dangerous. You know, it's actually a pretty good pressure. You see on the right side, Diaby gets just driven past, and there's Diaby right there trying to chase him down. But I mean, the speed of Evan Prater, it's been the difference maker. It's been what's given Cincinnati their 2 first downs in this game, and continue to see that. It just becomes another option. kind of an RPO. You drop back in the pass. If you got nothing, find an open lane, go, take off.
When asked Coach Combs to describe Prater, first thing, fast. He's fast as a runner. But here looking to throw, has a receiver, has a complete. Here another first down. Peyton Singletary, that's his first catch of the year. Tight end getting involved.
Yeah, and there's some of the arm talent. You know, he's a very capable thrower, not known for his throwing. And I think Ben Bryant, you know, it was a competition between Evan Prater and Ben Bryant in preseason camp to see who would be the starter week 1. And Ben Bryant won it out because of his arm strength, but it was a back and forth battle.
Louisville showing pressure again. Ethan Wright on the carry, but that pressure brings him down to the backfield. Montgomery, Mason Reiger, man, they're just coming on every single snap, it seems.
And you know, that's what it's going to happen, right? And yeah, when you look at the defense and the way they're built for Louisville, this is a defense that, again, in time playing an odd front, you're going to send pressure from other places. And then when you play an odd front versus a team that you know has a backup quarterback that doesn't necessarily throw the ball way downfield, you load the box and you bring pressure.
Pauling in motion now to the top of your screen. Prater gives it away to Ethan Wright, trying to spin his way to daylight. About 5 tough yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 6. Ninth play of this drive for Cincinnati. Remember, it started all the way back on their own 9-yard line. Now they're near midfield, but need a conversion here to keep this drive alive. Tight end Singletary in motion. Prater to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Now it collapses on him, but he's able to avoid the rush, at least initially. Not so entirely, though, as both Montgomery and Yaya Diaby force him out of bounds.
Yeah, and that was one of the plays. Scrambling off to his left is just much harder for a quarterback to be able to get the ball out. And you see the outside pressure. You're just rushing forward. They really drop back in a 2-deep zone. And you just see the prowess of the pass rush by Louisville. You know, second in the country in terms of number of sacks on the season. So that's what they do best.
Mason Fletcher, 4th in the country in punting average. 3rd team All-American. AAC Special Teams Player of the Year. It's a punt for the Bearcats. Good kick, fair catch made by Braden Smith at his own 12, and that's where Louisville will take over when we come back. Still scoreless here at Fenway. Good one between Louisville and Cincinnati. First quarter, Louisville fans have made the trip, enjoying the holiday season here in Boston. Beautiful city to enjoy the holidays. All right, coming up next on ESPN, Florida takes on number 14, Oregon State. What a year for Jonathan Smith and the Beavers. That's following us. Rice and Southern Miss, North Texas and Boise State as well. 3:30 on ABC. It's Washington State and Fresno State. Then at 7:30, SMU and BYU. Wow, what a day of college football on the ESPN network. It's amazing. Here's Jawar Jordan on that stretch play. Cincinnati defends it really well. They've defended it well all day.
They have, and that was Tyler Van Fossen, the linebacker, does a great job of just stretching out the run. You know, this is an offense, and Scott Satterfield, obviously, you know, he's not coaching this game, but this is his offense still. It's based on the stretch outside run, and whatever comes off of that, right? You try to get the defense doing what they don't want to do, which is run sideline to sideline. Then you find that running lane to cut up, or you bootleg off of it, and just haven't been able to get anything going in the run game.
Screen pass, maybe they can get something going here. Jordan carries it for about 5, 6, 7 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and short. Marion Smith ran him out of bounds. Let's a good look at the field configuration here at Fenway. From the Green Monster.
There's Deion Branch there, and you know, you talk to him about just like the honor of this role of interim head coach, and you know, it's funny in that initial press conference, he's like, yeah, I'm not a head coach, but he's out here loving on his players, getting them ready to go, and he's just excited for them and this opportunity.
Doman to throw.
Ooh, he wants to go.
He's going to have to run for it. Reaches for that first down marker, then gets hit out of bounds, and a late flag comes in. Whether he got it or not on his own, he'll get it on the penalty.
Oh, man. Yeah, and there you go. That's Ivan Pace. He's going to get called for that.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, defense number 0. 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the run and includes an automatic first down.
And you can see Ivan Pace just spying right over top of the quarterback, and yeah, it's just too late. You just don't have to do that extra push. Ivan Pace, we mentioned him earlier, first team AP All-American. Just an unbelievably productive player, unbelievably athletic. He has such good pad level. His dip and lean is phenomenal.
Quick pop pass to Amari Huggins-Bruce. He's got nowhere to go, though. Forced out of bounds right about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and Pace was in on that tackle as well. And you just get a look at what Ivan Pace has done. Transferring in here this year and AAC Defensive Player of the Year. He's the first unanimous All-American in school history. He's phenomenal. And his ability to play instinctual football around the line of scrimmage is what sets him apart.
Doman to throw underneath. That's Braden Smith, makes the catch. Shy of the first down. It'll bring up third down. Kelsey, what do you got?
Well, I got to talk with Ivan Pace this week, and he's such a great guy to talk to. But also, it's great to hear how his coaches talk about him. When we talked to interim head coach Kerry Combs about him, he said he's a freaking athlete, man. He's incredible instincts. You saw him, Mark, actually come out here, does a flip before the game, which I know you were impressed about. What you're also going to like, Mark, I don't know if you guys can see it with the helmet. He's got eye black like you used to wear, which I know you're into.
Oh, love a good smear on the face.
Yeah, it's face black. It's not eye black at that point. Your entire face is covered in eye black.
Yeah, it's just repurposed.
They're down. Fumble on the ball. Fumble on the field. It's picked up by Cincinnati. The mesh point never worked out for Louisville, and the Bearcats get the turnover.
And guess who it was? It was the face smear backflipping man himself, Ivan Pace. Just did such a good job. Anytime you get this zone read, there's a moment of indecision, and when you attack it with speed and go right through that mesh point, it makes it hard for a quarterback to decide. It's a perfectly played ball by Ivan Pace, who has the quarterback responsibility, and there's his coach right there. Yeah,
Kerry Combs loves it.
And how
loves
about
the
this,
effort,
right? Like Coleraine High School. We talked about Coleraine. Kerry Combs, Coleraine legend. Ivan Pace also went to Coleraine High School. And if you don't know a lot about that Catholic League football and in football in Cincinnati, there is some phenomenal football, and Ivan Pace is a part of that.
Cincinnati back in business. Prater looking to throw off the edge. Pressure comes, and he's going to be dropped. Every single play, a Cardinal is in the backfield. This time it's Momo Sanogo, the captain and the transfer from Ole Miss, making the sack.
Yeah, well, I think Momo just said, look, stop talking about their linebackers. Let's talk about ours. You see him here, number 1. Another guy transferred in from Ole Miss this year, and you know how rare it is to be a late-year transfer in, right? He transferred in and was the highest vote getter in terms of captain selections on the team. He's a leader. He gets everybody lined up. Great play.
Second sack of the day for this Cardinal defense. Derek gets back at midfield. McClellan just tries to wiggle his way for something, give him 3 yards on a tough carry.
Monty Montgomery on that one, and he's another one of this linebacker duo in the middle. And this is the 3-4 defense that, you know, it's built around, okay, let's penetrate up front with our defensive line and let these two inside linebackers really do work, and they complement each other so well, Monty Montgomery and Momo Sanogo.
Another 3rd and long for the Bearcats. Prater to throw. Again, flush from the pocket. He's going to have to do it with his legs. And he fumbles the football.
Monty Montgomery got that ball out.
And it's Louisville football.
And Ashton Gelati fell on top of it. And Prater a little banged up. Great job right here. Look at this, getting off his knees and getting the ball out. That second effort by Monty Montgomery, who is a fifth-year senior. And again, you know, anytime fifth-year seniors are playing in bowl games, I got lots of respect for them, especially in this day and age. And there's Mark Ivey, defensive line coach, who's taken over the play calling and the defensive coordinator responsibility. Side note, absolutely insane person pregame at times. We'll show you some of that later, but he is you know, phenomenal coach and a great play by Monty Montgomery in this Louisville defense.
And another one of those assistants thrust into play calling on the defensive side for this game, so relishing that role and being able to work with not only the kids but all the quality control coaches that have elevated roles now on these coaching staffs.
Yeah, you get coaches who, I mean, they were holding clipboards and now they're in front of the teams and in front of meetings.
Jordan, that's going to be a big run. 30, 20, forget it. Louisville on the board first here at Fenway.
Jawad Jordan, wow. And this is what he's done over the last few weeks. We mentioned big starter Tyon Evans not in this game. Jawad Jordan gets his number called.
Flag down on the field.
Flags. Better be a good flag.
49-yard run for Jordan. But did he show that speed on that run or what?
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 68 of the offense for taunting. That is his first of the ball game. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the ensuing kickoff.
Call against Michael Gonzalez, the left tackle, for taunting. Run is good.
Yeah, not a good penalty. That's tough. But play stands. Phenomenal run, and that's what it is. That was the stretch play. So now that stretch play hit, you're ready for some of the bootlegs and play action off play.
James Turner for the PAT. Even the camera angles on the PAT is unbelievable. Great shot from our camera crew, and it's good.
They've got more flags. This is getting chippy out here, and not only is this getting chippy, rain's starting to come down as we watch this replay. Absolutely no one there. Good patience, good cut, and you see the track speed from Jordan.
We've watched Jawad Jordan over the years, both at Syracuse before transferring to Louisville. Mark, he was very much a I'm going to get the ball and hit the hole kind of runner early on in his career. He's gotten more patient, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and you know, he's a track guy, right? And I think that one of the areas that track speed is great for is when you do run that stretch play. It's stretched, so you are running as fast as you can towards 1 yard outside the end man of the line, then cutting up. The problem is when you run one of these direct runs, you got to slow down your pace. Good job on that one, slowing down a little bit. Look at these cameras. Rain's here, baby.
Yeah, you're right. The rain just came down. That was a squall, I guess is what you'd call it. I'm going to check with our spotter, Evans Boston, who's sometimes a meteorologist, see if he thinks that that's what that was. Really quick rain that came through here. Looks like it's blowing through while our officials discuss the flags on the field after the PAT. There's a long discussion. Deion Branch wants to know what's going on. He's given his description of what he thought happened. There's Coach Kerry Combs. Look at the intensity.
Yeah. And interestingly, you know, these two sidelines, they're on the same side of the field, right? So the officials are all down in one end zone. And Deion Branch, he was asking the official at midfield, hey, can I go down there? And you see him running down there right by that AAC sign, trying to figure out what's going on.
The point after touchdown counts as good. There are two unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against Cincinnati. Number 10 and number 3. It's their first of the ball game. Those penalties will be set on the kickoff.
So we have an unsportsmanlike on Louisville on the kickoff, and then 2 against Cincinnati on the kickoff.
Yeah. So it's like take 1 step forward and 2 steps back kind of thing.
I guess that's what the officials were discussing at length. I'll just leave it up to them. I'll see where they put the ball for T, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, but you see Deion Branch, right? Okay, you're interim head coach, and now also we're going to put you on a sideline that's unconventional. He's just trying to figure out what was going on. He's standing in midfield like I'm 50 yards away. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of strange here in this game for both these teams.
And it looks like they're still kicking off from 35. I don't know.
That's where Brock Travelstead has it teed up right now for the Cards. Drew Donnelly deep for Cincinnati. And wind has picked up a little bit here too.
I was just about to say, this is something to keep an eye on. Like the goalposts are leaning a little bit.
Yep.
The rain's coming down. The wind's whipping. Oh, that just
high from Travelstead, but it's dying into that wind. Donnelly gets it out to the 27. They kick off your Sunday with NFL Countdown at 10 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Justin Herbert hits the field with Matt Hasselbeck. Then don't forget about Monday Night Football. Rams against the Packers at 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and on the ESPN app. You can also watch Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Don't forget about that. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown. As always, it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, picture Brewski on there. He's obviously a hometown hero here in Boston area.
Another one of those adopted hometown heroes, like Deion Branch.
Yep, Matt Hasselbeck on there too.
Yeah.
BC, great.
You, of course, from the Philadelphia area, but opting to play your college ball here at Boston College. Everybody remembers those days, those halcyon days. What can Cincinnati do here now in response? The Bearcats going with Ethan Wright quite a bit at that tailback spot now, the converted DB, and he picks up good yardage on first down. That will probably wrap things up for the first quarter. A unique first quarter here at the Wasabi Fenway Bowl and Fenway Park in Boston. Tough sledding early. Finally, after the defenses forcing turnovers and getting the ball back to the offense, it was Jawar Jordan. Goes 49 yards to the house. It's 7-0 Cardinals on top.
Are you ready? Okay, say no more. She's a Lotus and I'm the conductor of a magnum opus. Simply
Been the pressure from the front seven of Louisville. Evan Prater has been running for his life. You see that one fumble, Cincinnati fell back on it, but then this one, this strip sack, and Louisville gets the ball back, turns that into a long touchdown run, and that pressure and that defense of Mark Ivey, that's the story of the game so far. Cincinnati's got to get something going on offense.
Stuck here in the shadow of the pesky pole on this side of the field as the rain continues to come down. Prater now on a design run, nothing doing. Falls forward, picks up maybe a yard. It'll bring up a 3rd and short. Pop by Williams on the stop. This defense has been dominant.
Yeah, and this has been the calling card of Louisville's defense all year. It's how do we pressure the quarterback? How do we make the other team uncomfortable and not be able to do what they want to do? And Mark Ivey, the king of havoc, they want to create havoc plays. TFLs, sacks, interceptions. Opportunity here on 3rd down as they look to show pressure.
Yeah, look at the top of your screen. Will they come with it?
Yeah, there's no one deep. There's no deep safeties. This is man-to-man.
Coming with everything, and they get it to Prater. Prater avoids it, gets the ball off, and completes to a receiver with a flag down. That's a heck of a catch by Wyatt Fisher.
Stand on your head, Wyatt Fisher. Nice catch, baby. Wow.
I don't even know how Prater got it off to begin with.
I don't know. That's some strength.
Fisher's first catch of the year.
Defense number 12. The penalties decline, the result of the play. First down.
Look at this. Gelati has got him dead to rights, and
Montgomery's there.
Just a great job of using his body. Wyatt Fisher, good job. And I mean, that's a desperation throw. And look, he's going for the
face mask.
Face mask. He's like, no way that was caught.
Just the 2nd first down of the day for Cincinnati. Tough running by Charles McClellan. Give him 4 yards right to midfield.
Yeah, and Charles McClellan, you know, what a story he is. Overcame 2 ACL tears. Tore his ACL in the 2019 preseason and then in the 2020 season. And, you know, after you do that twice, it's like, how are you even going to come back? And you see the strength and the power. I mean, he done a phenomenal job returning to this field. He's had a great year.
There's the power right there, getting it close to the first down marker. He'll be a yard shy, but he's running hard today.
Ooh,
Now he's going to have to limp off. Oh, he lost his shoe.
thank goodness.
Yep.
Like, after I'm just talking about injuries, and good thing it's just a shoe. But on 3rd down, aren't they going to use that power? 3rd and 1.
Let's see if they bring in Corey Kiner, who's the bigger back, around 215 pounds. No, they'll go with Miles Montgomery, the redshirt freshman from Jacksonville, Florida. 3rd down and 1. Prater gives it off to him, battling to get that first down. I think he's going to be shy.
I don't think he got it.
Ashton Gelati led the charge. He's going to be shy. It'll be 4th down. By a full yard.
Yeah, and this is just a dual play. Double team everybody up front and try to get some movement. Really good job by number 9, Ashton Gelati, on that right side of the line of scrimmage. Just getting off the block and getting a hip bump into the running back. And a 4th and 1. Louisville's trying to substitute late.
Yeah, Ramon Poirier coming in for Louisville.
That's going to be the same play.
Ethan Wright, the back for the Bearcats. He gets the first down, just crashes into the line.
Same play, just that dual play, whatever you want to call it. Get double teams on everybody, just push. Pick up a first down, and this running game on this drive has been working pretty successfully for Evan Prater in this offense. Wouldn't be surprised to see a little play action here if you start seeing some of those Louisville defenders get close to the line of scrimmage.
Now Corey Kiner's in there, 4th back on this drive, used by the Bearcats. Over the middle, wide open receiver, Blue Smith. Inside the red zone, they'll mark him right at the 20.
All right, there's the play action. All right, the little ball fake. You get the linebackers just a little bit flat in their drops, and that's that hole in cover 3. Behind the backside linebacker, just not enough depth in his hook drop. Great pickup. And good delivery by Prater.
Blue Smith, the Ohio State transfer.
Such a cool name.
Yeah, and getting a lot of opportunities in this game. This whole receiving corps for Cincinnati. Pauling stays in the backfield. Now he checks out.
Uh-oh.
Trouble. No chance. Got it away, though. Got it away to Fisher again. Inside the 10. He'll score.
Wow! Wyatt Fisher. Oh, my gosh. He's the relief valve.
Yeah, he's the safety valve for Prater. When Prater gets in trouble, and Prater's been in a lot of trouble all game long, but he's found his way out of it a couple of times on this drive, including this touchdown.
This dude has no catches. He played 12 games on special teams last year. He's a special team guy this year, but with the amount of guys out for the wide receiver corps, Trey Tucker out, Jaden Thompson out, Tyler Scott out.
Nick Gardner's out.
So, this is opportunities, and those are 2 huge plays on that drive from Wyatt Fisher, the 5th-year senior.
PAT from Christian Lowry is good. Cincinnati answers. It's Wyatt Fisher. Evan Prater's safety valve evening things up. Scott Satterfield, the new Cincinnati coach, is going to join us on the other side. We're even here at the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. All tied up in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Former Louisville head coach, current Cincinnati head coach Scott Satterfield joins us right now. And coach, it has to be difficult for you to be watching on TV your former players in Louisville playing in this bowl.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Very fond of those players at Louisville. Spent a lot of 4 years there, a lot of hard work getting those guys there and getting them to play at a high level. And but yeah, it's certainly an unusual situation that we have going on right now, and this time of year in college football is. But for me, hey, just checking this out and looking forward to the 2023 Bearcat.
Coach, you see that? You see that stretch play hit for Jawar Jordan? You got that patent stretch play. Yeah, there you go.
That was very familiar. And we know Jordan could get it done. He certainly close. They had it blocked up very well. And once he hit, when he hit the gas, it was over.
How much are you right now? Obviously, you're evaluating, you're building your staff and evaluating talent. How much do you use a day like today to kind of see what might be potentially for you in 2023?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of my first look at Cincinnati, really. You know, since my time being here in the last couple of weeks, really just working on staff, working on recruiting, and that's all we've been doing. I've not seen one practice, or I haven't even been in the indoor years yet. You know, so we've just been recruiting, and so this is kind of interesting to me to watch these guys and watch them fly around and play. I know they've been getting after their practice, according to Coach Combs, and excited to be able to have Coach Combs stay and be a part of our staff, but. Yeah, this kind of, you know, obviously a very unusual situation, but really we got recruits in today. I've already talked to 2 recruits this morning, and I've got several more this afternoon here.
Yeah, you know, you talk about Coach Combs, and Coach Combs, I mean, his ability to bring the Cincinnati area to the Cincinnati program has been huge. And yeah, how valuable is that? Just having him be able to stick around on your staff for the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think it's extremely valuable. I mean, that was my #1 priority when I got here. After speaking with Coach Combs, I mean, he did a great job of holding this team together. You know, in the meantime, Coach Pickle, you know, I had to keep him here. You know, he's a legend here in the city, an outstanding high school football coach, and has done a great job in his college coaching career. You know, very respected by not only this community but our players, this team, this administration. So I think that was key, keeping him on here, and he brings a wealth of knowledge and experience. So I'm excited for him to be a part of our staff. And in the meantime, you know, trying to build out the rest of the staff and bring in quality coaches to be one of the best staffs in the country.
Coach, you're watching Evan Prater here wearing #3 for Cincinnati. And Mark talked about it earlier. It kind of reminds him a little bit of a guy who wore #3 for you over the last 3 or 4 years in terms of the way he plays. Are you excited about what you can do with him and molding him into your offense?
Yeah, I'm excited about him. Yeah, I had an opportunity to meet with him and the other quarterbacks that are here on the roster. And, man, he is extremely athletic. You know, has great ability. He's tall, he's long, you know, has a strong arm. You know, first play was quarterback draw, and the touchdown pass a while ago was incredible. I thought he was going to get back there, and he throws it in the last second. Man, what a play! So he's able to extend plays. He has a lot of upside, a lot of potential. You know, so we're excited to work with him as we get back here in January.
Hey, Coach, thanks for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of the game there in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. Looking forward to the 2023 season, and everybody enjoy this game. It's going to be fun.
All right, Coach Scott Satterfield, new head coach at Cincinnati, joining us as he's watching many of his players that he's going to have in 2023. Whoa. A little trickeration here. Braden Smith decides to keep it.
What?
He's going to make a big play out of this. Big enough.
Wow.
He gets 6 yards on a play that looked like it was going to be blown up in the backfield.
They got the reverse. You're trying to pitch it back to Brock Doman to throw it downfield, but good job. And that's... There's certain points, right? Every touch point in those trick plays, you want to have guys you trust touch the football, right? And Braden Smith having that football and knowing not to pitch it back,
right?
That was a big play.
Good run here by Maurice Turner, picking up the first down. Had a big pass play to Jalen Carter on that drive, too, to get him down here into Cincinnati territory. And you see Scott Satterfield's resume. A lot of success at App State. He was at App State for a long time. Player, assistant coach, finally had success as a head coach. Then his years at Louisville, really had the one bad year, the COVID year. Other than that, bowl years every year, and now on to Cincinnati. Yeah,
and he's been, you know, he's like the turnaround guy, right? He'll turn your program around, and this is really one of the first times he's gone into a situation where you don't need to turn the Cincinnati Bearcats football team around. I mean, they're doing great things already, and so now it's the ability, okay, how do we take that next step? As you know, we all know Cincinnati's entering the Big 12 next year, and just, you know, it's just going to be a different type outfit, and you know, they got a different coach who knows how to guide teams, which I think is great.
There's Kerry Combs staying on, as you heard Coach Satterfield talk about, staying on to the staff. Cincinnati finally bowling up there and putting a stop to Maurice Turner.
Well, Chris, you want to know what the weather's going to be like here? You don't turn on the TV. You just look outside, because now the sun's shining and the wind's gone and it's bright and sunny. It's just like a little everything.
It's been pouring down rain just 5 minutes ago. Now the sun is out. We're going to get all kinds of movement. Everyone's pointing at everyone else. Jeffrey Cervinski and our officiating staff.
False start. Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Yeah, and Ty Van Fossen, the linebacker, number 13, he ran to the line of scrimmage like he was coming on a blitz, like bluffing. Like he didn't cross the neutral zone.
Going to cost Louisville 5 yards. Field, the angles, even the weather bizarre today here at the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. We'll take the sunshine though. Jordan now back in the backfield. Gets the carry. Look at the way he hits that hole with a lot of speed. Picks up 6 or 7. It'll bring up third manageable. Great look at Fenway as the sun comes out.
What they've done, around Fenway Stadium, really even in the past 10 years or so, a lot of new restaurants, hotels. I mean, it's just a really, really nice area in Boston. And
it's also, they've put so much money into the stadium itself. It's got modern amenities, but the ancient feel to it, if you will.
Yes.
Great screen pass inside the 15. Jalen Carter again. He's made 2 big plays on this drive for the Cardinals. They're in the red zone. Yeah,
and that was a really good job by Brock Doman. Watch him. He sees the pressure. He looks off. Initially, this is could be a screen pass to the right. He looks that off and throws the slant pass. Good job managing the play.
Cardinals want to go quickly. Turner picks up about 5. Play of this drive. Cardinals looking to pay it off. 2nd and goal. Turner now in motion. Doman fakes to him. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Marshawn Ford.
Marshawn Ford, tight end, H-back, former walk-on, wide receiver extraordinaire. This is a guy who, whether it's Malik Cunningham or Brock Doman in a quarterback, he is the guy that has been the playmaker year in and year out. Great job on the stalk block, little fake on the outside. And you see how he shifted his weight towards that outside. It got the defender to be on outside leverage, and good job coming down with that catch. And Louisville has not been great at scoring touchdowns in the red zone this year, so that was very encouraging to see.
Turner with the try. 10 plays, 66 yards. Doman, little pump fake, finds Ford. Cards back up top.
December 31st on ESPN.
The Wasabi Fenway Bowl is brought to you by Moderna. The COVID-19 updated boosters are here. Get the facts. Make it yours. Visit makeityourvaccine.com today.
Good shot at George the Animal Steel there in the upper right in the squared circle. Just letting you know that baseball and football, not the only activities here at Fenway Park. Wow, that hurts. Of course, the Reds winning Game 7 of the World Series here in 1975. Game after. If it stays fair, it's a home run. With Pudge Fisk hitting the game-winning home run on one of the most legendary postseason games of all time in Major League Baseball history. Donley Ooh, got hit hard on the return, but spun forward to the 30. Just past the midway point of this second quarter here at the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. 14-7, Cards on top. We'll take a quick break. Once but twice, Evan Prater, the magician, getting out of trouble and finding a receiver.
Yeah, both times being clutched, actually, right? Escaping these pressures and just launching the ball up there to who's become the playmaker of the game, Wyatt Fisher. This one went for 6. There you go, young man.
Well, it's become a first half of answers after it was sluggish at the start. Turnovers, a lot of TFLs. Now both teams have answered. Let's see what Cincinnati can do here. Prater on his own. Good pickup on first down. Give him 7. Kelsey, what's going on?
Talked with Evan Prater this week, and he talked about what a special opportunity this is for him because, as you guys mentioned, he's one of the many players that is from Cincinnati. He grew up just 15 minutes from campus, going to Cincinnati games all the time. He says, I got pictures of me standing on the field, lots of history at Nippert, and he said for him, when he had the opportunity to start against Tulane and the crowd erupted when he heard his name, that was pretty special, and especially be starting quarterback guys with Kerry Combs leading them as well.
See him there with the Cincinnati Skyline Chili t-shirt on. Get me some of that. Tell he's a hometown kid. Prater now trying to escape, won't do it. Gets swallowed up by that relentless Cardinal defense. Ramon Purrier this time on the pressure.
Yeah, and again, Prater, really good job escaping, but I mean, you see Abdullah, number 22, coming through in the beginning, and it just, this is his 4th sack of the day, and for everything Prater has done to not be sacked, to stand tough in the pocket, to get the ball out, it has just been havoc up front from this Louisville defense. 2nd and 3
turns into 3rd and 8. Cincy 2 for 6 on 3rd down today. Cards show pressure on the edge. They bring it. McClellan with the catch, but he can't keep his footing. And lose a yard, actually.
That's the 2nd time they've tried to set up this running back screen. And the 2nd time, Prater just hasn't been able to get the ball out there far enough. That was set up pretty well. You see the scan screen with the running back coming from the opposite side, and they had a little bit of a pick block on Quinn, the defender who was on him. But good job right there from Louisville, and misfire from Prater.
Mark Ivey pleased with his defense. First 3 and out forced on the day for that Cardinal defense. Now Mason Fletcher. Good kick away from the return man. Touchdown to 26. Cardinals back on offense when we come back. Looking forward to hearing from you all at halftime. It is a huge day for Bulls across ESPN networks. It's all day, all night. Doman out to Carter. That's become his favorite target. Out beyond the 35. Doman got off to a really slow start in this game, Mark. 0 for 3. Since then, he's 7 for 8 throwing the ball.
Yeah, he's settled down, and honestly, it's gotten a little drier out there. These balls that had a lot of that residue from the early rain and then the rain early in that first quarter, they've dried off, and he's delivering good ball. Jalen Carter, only 3 receptions on the season. He's having a phenomenal game today.
Tyler Hudson, their leading receiver, coming in. So an opportunity for guys like Jalen Carter, Amari Huggins, Bruce, Braden Smith to show what they can do. Turner still on his feet near midfield. Louisville getting yards and chunks here these first couple plays of this drive.
And the defense was a little bit caught off guard. They're moving around, and Ivan Pace was trying to figure out where to go with the 2 tight end sets. Louisville got up, snapped the ball quick, and really good job again by these running backs hitting the hole with some pace, getting downfield. Good pickup for first down.
Earlier in the week, we were talking about this Louisville offense, and you said anytime you see a tight end with a 4 in front of his number as the first number, it's basically a fullback.
Yeah, get ready for run. And just that's Marshawn Ford's their guy. There's a 40 in. Here's a run.
Doman fakes the pitch, picks up 5.
you know, you talk to the coaches, it's more complicated than that. But for us defensive guys who like something simple, what are you going to be alert for? You see these 41, 45, 44 in there in the game at the tight end position. Let's get ready for some run or some play action. I see this right here could possibly be a play action. Look for Elijah Downing, the 6'3" receiver at the bottom. Nope, run.
Turner, another big run, picks up a first down and gets out of bounds. You can see we're inside of 2 minutes left to go. All 3 timeouts on the board for Louisville.
This is working. This downhill run, we talked about the stretch run where Jordan had the big touchdown earlier, and now some of the 2-back gap scheme runs have been effective with Turner in the game. Oh, look at this, 40's going out, 5's coming in. Let's see, what are we going to think we might have here?
Can't be that simple, can't be.
Yeah, it is, it's empty. They're going to pass the ball.
Terry Combs making his substitution now, bringing out big old Juwan Briggs out of the middle of that defensive line. Jawar Jordan now in motion in the backfield. Cincinnati shows pressure, they back out of it, bring just 4, but it's enough, and it gets to Doman. Guess who?
There it is. One half of the Pace brothers. Ivan Pace, watch him, number 0. He's just stacked right on the nose guard, and it's just a little stunt move, and just a great job with his hands.
And that's Brian Hudson, a pretty darn good center.
Yeah, Brian Hudson, second-team All-ACC center, really solid guy, and you see the power, right? It's that shock ability, that initial punch, and then the quick shed. What makes Ivan Pace so good, and that's why he is so good at getting sacks and TFLs.
Second down and 19, clock winding inside a minute. Dolman to throw, has all kinds of time, hits Jordan out of the backfield. Couldn't make his defender miss, and Sammy Anderson does a nice job of forcing him out of bounds and forcing a third. It's going to be about 14.
Yeah, we've seen a few times where Cincinnati has done a really good job in this high red zone area. You know, not down at the 20-yard line, but really between, you know, that 45 and 25-yard line, making tough decisions for, you know, Deion Branch in his first head coaching debut. Okay, on third down, how do we play this? 3rd and 14, do we go to try to pick up 6 or 7? So we go for it on 4th down or try to get the whole chunk?
Big run again for Jordan. Inside the 20, inside the 10, he'll score. Second time in this half, Jordan has gotten loose. This time 41 yards out. Big score in the final minute of this first half.
Very similar run to what we saw in the first quarter. It's kind of that outside stretch. This is a little bit more of a base blocking scheme, but you see the speed, and with the overload that they put all their wide receivers on the left side of the field in this 3-by-1 formation, there was a dramatic shift by the defense and no one left standing on the right side of the field.
Jordan now with 99 yards rushing mark on 5 carries.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and I mean, just think about what he's done, right? It's just been phenomenal. The last game out.
False start. Kicking team number 51. 5-yard penalty. We do the try.
Yeah, you know, last game out at Kentucky, he had a career high 145 rushing yards, and then the week before that, 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And yeah, these past couple weeks have been really big for Jawar Jordan, and today is the same.
3 100-yard games in his last 4. They've been against really good teams.
Yes, they have.
NC State, Clemson, Kentucky.
And here, I mean, this is a very good Cincinnati defense.
Turner splits the uprights.
And Jawar Jordan, you know, we mentioned he was at Syracuse before. He's been in and out, but this is still a guy, you know, he's a redshirt sophomore. He's coming back next year, and you know, he's a guy that they have a lot of anticipation, a lot of hopes for, and you see his ability to get out in that open field and find those holes.
You know Jeff Brom is watching this.
Yeah.
We're going to chat with him coming up in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back in 10 seconds, though, after a quick message from Verbo.
It's Tim Tebow in a Verbo. where the host doesn't stay with you. So there's no one to interrupt your pregame routine.
Once again with the eye black.
Yep.
You had to enjoy that.
Yep. Tim and Demi there on their great couple.
Right. Out there
Great ambassadors of college football.
Out there on the lanai. Travelstead now to kick off. Final 42 seconds of this first half. Donnelly from his 5. Donnelly returns the ball with reckless abandon. He makes a 29-yard return look phenomenal. College football playoff semifinal Saturday, December 31st on ESPN. Number 2 Michigan, number 3 TCU in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Then it's number 1 Georgia, number 4 Ohio State in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. New Year's Eve, Atlanta, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. That's going to be nuts. Georgia in that game with Ohio State, who travels, by the way. Probably traveled 200,000 people from Ohio down to Georgia for that one.
Injury on the field right now.
Mark Hertzler, Chris Cotter, Kelsey Riggs down on the field. You see the big green monster behind us. Great setting here at Fenway, and the Wasabi Fenway Bowl is, early on in the game, a lot of turnovers, a lot of defense, a lot of TFLs. But now these teams are starting to get it going a little bit, especially Louisville.
Yeah, it's been big plays, right? Whether it's defensive big plays with the sack forced fumbles or the almost interceptions and the big runs, right? And the elusive passes. Even Prater getting that ball out to some of these wide receivers who are making plays as well. So, this one started a little slow. The rain dried up, and now it's getting exciting.
And you see the interim coaching staffs as well. It's kind of fun to watch them, and not only their brains going, trying to figure out and make adjustments, but also just the the motivation and the heart that these players are showing to be able to coach, to be able to win for these coaches.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the interims, and Deion Branch, it's been a very different 2 weeks for him. This is a guy who's the director of player development for Louisville. He brought him in beginning of this year to really help guys with a lot of processes, right? The processes away from football. So he hasn't been a day-to-day in the meetings everyday coach, right? Now he's that head coach, and it's just a lot more on his plate.
There's a lot on Prater's plate right now. A lot of red jerseys in his grill. Yasir Abdullah, that's his 9th sack of the year.
Yeah, and Abdullah, there was a time where he was leading the entire ACC in sacks. And this is a guy who started off his career really with being just a speed rusher. He would get on the edge. He did a great job of his dip and lean. But each of the last 2 off seasons, he's put on 10 pounds in each of those off seasons, and now he's at a weight where he can use that speed to power, and really much more versatile player. And he picked up that sack there. 5 first half sacks for that Louisville defense. That has to make that man right there happy, as does our halftime score, 21-7. Cardinals on top. Since he's going to receive the second half kick, so maybe they can get something going in the second half that Coach Kerry Combs and company haven't been able to do in the first. Kelsey is standing by on the field with Coach Branch.
Coach, 3rd and long, and Jawar Jordan goes ahead and makes it easy on you with what you do next, because he puts it in the end zone. What do you like about what you've seen from your offense?
Everything. I think the front line is doing an amazing job blocking. I think that's the most important part. I think going into this game, that defensive line that Cincinnati has, they're pretty tough. The linebackers are amazing. Offensive line doing great. Jaws is running the ball well, also along with Maurice.
Speaking of defenses, yours has been phenomenal, as they were in the last half of the season. How do you keep up the intensity?
We have to. We gave up a busted coverage on the touchdown. I hate that, but the guys will go in and correct the errors and stuff on the back end. We'll come out the second half better.
Coach, thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Kelsey. Our score at the half in Boston: Louisville 21, Cincinnati 7. Great atmosphere at Fenway Park in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Let's send it to Matt Berry, Sam Acho, and Jesse Palmer back in studio for the halftime report.
Cotter, I agree. Great atmosphere. I told the ESPN bosses, let's take.
Welcome back to the Wasabi Fenway Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania, 21-7. Louisville on top as we get set to start the third quarter. Chris Cotter alongside Mark Hertzlick. Kelsey Riggs is down in the field. Hertzlick with that jacket is taking up like the entire screen here, dwarfing the green monster behind us. Let's take a look at today's playbook. It's brought to you by Moderna, and it's the 2 touchdown runs by Jawar Jordan. He has 99 yards rushing on 5 carries in that first half.
Jawar Jordan, he's been great, and it's all set up here. The great block from his fullback, Isaac Martin, sprung him loose. Got to that second level, and it's that right side of the Cincinnati defense. Same thing here. Just no one over there, and Jawar Jordan uses his speed to find his way to the end zone, and it's been big plays. 2 of them there you saw from Jawar Jordan. He's only had 5 rushes? What? I didn't even realize that. 5 rushes for 99 yards. Pretty good average.
Yeah, Maurice Turner's added 36 on the ground for Louisville in that first half as they were really able to get the ground game going. And then Brock Dolman, who got off to a rough start, he really started heating up too. So now the onus is really on Cincinnati. They'll receive this second half kick. And other than a couple of really miraculous plays by Evan Prater, where he was able to avoid pressure and hit a couple of receivers downfield, that pressure has really been getting to the Cincinnati quarterback in this offense and stifling them. Donnelly once again back to return this kick. He'll camp under it at his own 7. You'll see what he can do. Ooh. That's something right there. Good start out to the 35 where Cincinnati will take over. Let's send it down to the field and Kelsey Riggs.
Well, I caught up with Cincinnati interim head coach Kerry Combs on his way out, and he said the main thing he took away from the first half is that they kept putting themselves in bad situations at every turn. His message to his guys is, how do you respond to that? Here in the second half, he wants to see when there is adversity, how do they respond? And as for his offense, I asked him how they get them going. He said they have got to run the ball, establish the run, and that'll open things up.
All right, thanks, Kels. Had an offside against Louisville on that kickoff, so they'll add 5 yards to the end of that Donnelly run. Cincinnati will start in good field position at their own 40.
Let's see if they go to it here. Let's see if they start off with the run. Corey Kiner in the backfield.
Got Brady Lichtenberg at quarterback for Cincinnati, so this is a little bit of a surprise here to start the second half. Give to Corey Kiner. He spins for about 4 yards. So Brady Lichtenberg, sophomore out of Toledo, is now a quarterback for the Bearcats. As you can see, his playing time has been very limited, has never even attempted a pass here at Cincinnati. There's Prater on the sideline with a headset on.
And the offense just, it wasn't moving consistently down the field, and try something new. Start the second half. You see conflicting numbers right now with Kiner in terms of his helmet and his jersey. He has a 2 on the side and 21 on his back, so don't get confused there.
Kiner wore 30 earlier in the game, and 2 and 21.
Well, might as well keep us guessing. I mean, a good running back. Had a touchdown in each of his first 5 games this year. Missed some time due to injury.
He's a little bit more of the thumper in this running back stable. Lichtenberg will carry it himself. Follows the football. Louisville recovers.
Well, that's not why they put Lichtenberg in, right? They didn't bring him in to be the running quarterback. I saw him in warm-ups, and he actually was throwing a pretty good ball, tight spiral. But another big play by this Louisville defense.
MJ Griffin forced the fumble. You'll see it here. And then Yasir Abdullah picked it up.
Yeah, put his shoulder right on the football. And Yasir Abdullah has been around the football all day. He falls on top of that one.
Deion Branch is happy. Kerry Combs is not. He told Kelsey, keep putting ourselves into rough spots. Well, here's another one. Turning the ball over at midfield. Louisville back in action.
Yep, Mark Ivey, D-line coach, D coordinator today. He's got to be happy. I mean, this has been just a really dominant performance by this Louisville defense so far. And you saw Combs trying to just do anything to switch it up offensively.
Yeah, they forced 2 turnovers today. Louisville has. Sacking the quarterback and forcing turnovers, that has been their MO. Double pass. Downfield to Turner. Just overshoots him. Wow, Braden Smith showed his arm off on that pass anyways.
He did. He didn't even look. he got the ball. Watch it. Let's see if he peeks downfield at all. It's almost like, he did. He looked a little bit. He said, okay, there's no safety over top. Let's just throw it out in front of him.
I mean, off his back foot too, Mark.
Yeah.
Just chucked that one downfield. Turner couldn't quite run under it. You're going to pull out all the stops today. Why not?
Yep. I love that play call. It's forced down as well.
Jordan trying to spin out of trouble. Did well to pick up 5. Jaheim Thomas on the stop. There's a good look at Thomas.
Yeah, he is a big game last time out. Career high 11 tackles versus Tulane back in late November.
Opportunity for Cincinnati's defense. Come up with a really big stop here at midfield. 3rd down and 7. Goldman to throw. Has time. Now flushed. Head still downfield. Has a receiver. Can he make the catch? Reached out to get it, but just out of bounds. Braden Smith did a nice job, but he needed to be about 6'10" to keep a foot in bounds.
Really, really good effort. That was close.
I mean, great effort. He points to the line, and the official right there, linesman saying, no, not quite. Close. 4th down. Decision was made. It took a little while for Coach Branch and his assistants to decide whether they wanted to go for it at midfield or punt it away. And with a 14-point lead, this is probably the wise move right here. Pin Cincinnati deep.
Yeah, and they reset the play clock. So they still have a full 18 seconds.
Vassett will punt it away. Flag down and pressure up the middle. Vassett got it away. Kiner's going to call a fair catch. Hit traffic at his own 12. Let's check the marker.
Yeah, there were too many men on the punt team in the backfield. When you're one of these guys who has to be on the line of scrimmage, you have to break the belt line of the center, and they did not do that. Probably didn't get set for a full second either.
Sounds like a man who played for a few years in the NFL on special.
Yes, played many games at right guard on that punt team. Right, breaking the belt line of the snapper like that. Those aren't the usual lingo that gets put out in the broadcast, but that's what the rule is.
Illegal formation, kicking team. More than 5 players in the backfield. That 5-yard penalty we added to the end of the kick. Timeout on the field.
I don't know how Wilson Huber didn't get that one again. Coach Brom's going to join us on the other side. You don't want to go anywhere. Louisville on top by 14. It is mania today. Bowl games sun up to sundown on both ESPN and ABC. 21-7 our score in the 3rd quarter. Louisville on top of Cincinnati. First down for the Bearcats. As now we see Prater back in the game. So after a 1 series with Brady Lichtenberg, Evan Prater now back in a quarterback for the Bearcats. Giving it to Kiner. He picks up about 2. Pleased to be joined by Louisville's new head coach, Jeff Brom. And Coach, obviously going home has to be really special for you, but you're leaving a pretty good situation at Purdue. What was it about Louisville that made it so that you had to go back?
Well, just like you said, it's my home. It's where I played. It's where I was born and grew up. I just have a lot of people here that have really given to me over the years, and just felt after 6 years of coaching at Purdue, a great university with tremendous leadership, that we've made a lot of progress. We found a way to get to the Big Ten championship game. So I just felt that the timing was right to come back home and try to help this football team here in Louisville.
Big run there by Ethan Wright. And, Coach, this is a team like, Malik Cunningham's no longer going to be there, but you got a lot. We've seen a lot of really good things from Brock Doman. A lot of these young guys stepping up. Jawar Jordan's had a phenomenal day today. When you look at your roster that you're going to inherit, how excited are you about the potential in the future of this Louisville program?
Well, I'm thrilled to death to get a chance to coach these guys. I think that they play hard. I got a chance to watch them practice last week. They practiced with great energy. I thought they were fired up to play in this bowl game. I really felt that they would go out and do a great job, which they have to this point. They're really playing good football, but a really good group of guys. I think that this football team's hungry. They want to go out and prove themselves, and I think they're eager to get back on the field, next season and showcase what they're all about with the new staff. So we're excited to get things underway, and it's just a really good group of guys.
We're seeing Deion Branch leading this club today. How important is it to have a guy like that? Player relations, player development, so players kind of have a third party, if you will, to go to when they have situations surrounding either the game or off the field.
Well, Deion Branch is a tremendous person. He's achieved a great deal, not only here at the University of Louisville, but also in the NFL. So he demands, and he's earned a lot of respect. And I think the players understand that he's there for them. He wants to help them achieve their goals. He's done a great job in this bowl game of getting this team ready to play. And when your players know that you love them, you care about them, they're normally going to do great things for you. So I just think he's a great addition to this staff. He's done a tremendous job since he's been here, and I think he'll continue to do great things.
Coach, did you ever play in a Keg and Nails game?
Yes, I did, quite a few times, and it was a great rivalry and something he did every year. And really, it was something our fans appreciated. This team that's about 90 miles apart, and you get together, and you always try to win that football game. So we had a lot of fun in that rivalry game.
There you go. There's the Keg and Nails right there.
There it is. That's what they're battling for right now. And your Cards are up 21-7. Coach, appreciate you joining us. Looking forward to seeing you next year in 2023 on the sideline.
Okay, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
All right, Jeff Robb, the new head coach at Louisville. You see the Keg and Nails there on the left. That's what they're playing for. And this defense is playing like they want it. Another sack for Louisville to force a fourth down.
Yeah, that Keg and Nails, like that trophy, that's a pretty cool looking trophy.
I love it. I put it right up there with Floyd of Rosedale, with the Little Brown Jug.
Yeah, and Chris, again, this Boston, this is where I went to college. I've done quite a few keg stands, and keg stand on that Keg and Nails might be a fun thing for Kelsey to do after the game.
There you go, Kels.
Yeah, just a thought, put it right in your head.
Gauntlet has been thrown.
Yep.
Braden Smith with the fair catch at the 32.
Guys, I think I'm just going to get the keg ready for whatever you guys want to do with it after the winning team is done celebrating with it. I did like a keg curl earlier during the open and lifted it up. It was, I thought you would like that, Cotter. Mine was probably not very impressive, though. But, Mark, you handle the keg stands, I think, from here on out, my friend.
Yeah, good keg stand. Good keg stand always kicks off a nice party, so who knows?
We'll be looking for a keg of a different flavor.
No, I actually almost only do keg stands on kegs of nails. So
I got you.
Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks.
All right, back to football.
Louisville taking over. Jordan. Nice job defensively to bring him down. Otherwise, that might have been another big run. A little more chippiness. Separated. That was Rob Jackson on the tackle. Jordan going over 100 yards rushing on the day.
Yep. Yeah, Rob Jackson in there playing that nose guard. Juwan Briggs, we've seen him earlier. Dante Corleone, the Godfather, not playing today due to injury, but he was a All-American guy at that nose tackle position.
Well, pressure on Dolman. Tried to find Isaac Martin, one of those 40 tight ends. He's only made 2 catches on the year. Martin saying, I got hit before that ball even got to me. Officials may have thought that it was uncatchable. A little too high.
It's a big third down. Cincinnati defensively, they did a great job of getting the ball back after that last series with the turnover and the big stand. And now, if they can get the ball back to their offense, who has not been doing much, I mean, this is still a 14-point game. Cincinnati get right back into it.
Jordan. He's close. First down.
Nice run by Jawar Jordan again. That left side of the line of scrimmage behind Caleb Chandler and Trevor Reed. Oh, getting some pushing and shoving.
You're right. We've seen a lot of that. Threets being held back by his teammates. 10. pile behind him.
Yep.
Ford. Pickup of about 6 yards. Good pitch and catch. Let's take a look at today's performance update. Prepared by TaxAct. You think about Brock Doman and the type of quarterback he is, completely different from what Louisville has experienced really over the last 8 years. 5 with Malik Cunningham, and then the previous 3 years were ridiculous with Lamar Jackson.
Well, I mean, it's just been ridiculous the whole time, right? And, you remember when Malik Cunningham was earning that starting spot. Evan Conley was that starter for a little bit in that 2019 season in Satterfield's first year, and then it became clear Malik Cunningham was the guy. And now with Malik Cunningham moving on, Brock Doman, it's a different type of player, but effective. We've just seen him be nothing but effective and been able to lead this team to a lot of wins.
Right.
And you saw some of that mobility on the last play, escapability.
And it's not only, a different era for quarterbacks, but it's a different era for coaching and style of offense with Jeff Brom coming in. So you got to wonder, how will Louisville look moving forward, whether it's Doman or anybody else at quarterback? Yeah,
and Doman, he's got some attitude to him too. When he does run the football, he's a guy, he'll lower his shoulder. He'll try to run you over. He likes to play this game kind of like with that linebacker mentality that you hear about.
Right through the arms of Ford. That pass had a little mustard on it.
And one of my favorite quotes from Doman was really right before that Virginia game, his first start in Virginia game. And some of the reporters were like, "Hey, are you nervous? Were you nervous when you went in there?" And he said, "There's nothing to be nervous about when you know what you're doing." Just like that. That was it. That was the answer to the question. And that just shows the confidence and the preparation that he has. Hey, I know what I'm doing. Nothing to be nervous about.
Another big hole up the middle, first down for the Cards as they continue to move the chains. Kelsey, what's going on?
You guys are just talking a little bit about Brock and his mindset. It was so good to catch up and to hear that and to hear what the opportunities throughout the year have meant, but also the last 2 weeks to be the starting guy, to know that this is his team and to be able to lead the way he can. You mentioned that he can run the football. When we talked to Deion Branch, he said he jokes he's a dual threat. This guy can get it done both ways. We've seen a little bit of it.
Yeah, had 125 yards rushing in limited play on the year coming into this game, so can't get it done. And you think about, too, when he came in, Malik got hurt in the Boston College game. He comes in, they go 1 for 8 in that. He goes 1 for 8 in that game with an interception, right? Then the following week, you think, okay, he's getting reps in the first team for practice. That's when he really took that step.
Yeah. That's when he took that step, and that's when he started this career path he's on. And take a break with the injury, and more on Brock when we come back.
And get more. And Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Just past the midway point of this third quarter in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Last 2 keg of nails won by Louisville, both games in overtime. Once in Louisville and the other one at Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati. So it's been a while since these two teams have played, all the way back to 2013. There's Kelsey between the two teams on the sideline.
Yeah, we talk about the rivalry and how they're separated by 100 miles. Right now, they're literally separated by 10 yards. I've got Cincinnati to my right and Louisville to my left. And we've seen it kind of boil over a couple times on the field. The funny thing is, as they come across, it's not like you talk your trash on the field, Chris and Mark, and then you go to your other side. They're able to sit here and look at each other and say whatever they want to say right back and forth, 10 yards between them.
Yeah, like a hockey game when two players get put in the penalty box.
Exactly.
That continues that conversation. Turner dropped for a loss. And Fawcett again is there for the stop for Cincinnati. This is kind of gut check time for Cincinnati right now.
It is, and this is that area of the field. We mentioned it earlier, that high red zone where their defense has really stood up. I mean, it's been those, the 2 long runs for touchdowns. Those were the 2 big plays. There was, 1 red zone touchdown that Louisville punched in to Marshawn Ford, but on third down, another opportunity for the Cincinnati defense to make a tough decision for Deion Branch on whether to go for it or to punt.
Turner, lots of room to run. That outside zone just continues to work for Louisville. He gets it down to the 26. That's going to be a first down.
And a continued success on that right side. Really good block on that right-hand side. I think it was, didn't catch the number, but really good job by that right guard opening up the lane.
Sammy Anderson's injured on the play for the Bearcats. We'll take a quick break. Check in on Sammy's condition when we come back. On this site, 21-7, Louisville on top of Cincinnati. 6:08 left to go in the third quarter. Beautiful shot of the way they've got this field configured today inside the tunnel, which is where the Red Sox would come out to their dugout. Nice. Just give you a sense of flavor in this iconic ballpark. Not the first football game we've seen on this field, but they haven't played many of them. You know, the Patriots back when they were in the AFL played here in the 60s. Had a couple of Notre Dame, Boston College games. Had the
false start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Had the Harvard-Yale game here just a few years ago. I think back in 2018. There you see some of the teams that have played here. Chicago Bears playing Army All-Stars in 1942. That Army All-Star team must have been awesome in 1942. Turner stays on his feet somehow after he got hit in the backfield. Spins forward for maybe a yard. They'll bring up 3rd and long.
And these 3rd and longs, there's been a lot of them run. You know, you've seen Jawar Jordan break a couple of them, and this might be a little bit too far for that opportunity unless they want to, you know, set up a field goal opportunity.
Yeah, checking 2nd down and long, by the way, Mark.
Yep,
so
okay, there you go.
They do have an extra down. Ford is in motion now tight. Braden Smith. Little flip to Huggins Bruce. Defended well by the Bearcats. Maybe picked up a yard at most.
I'll just replay that same comment I had before. 3rd down, they've been doing some outside stretch, and I see like this now would be a play action spot for me, right? We've had effective runs in this same area of the field. Now maybe we get Huggins Bruce, you know, their speedy wide receiver. Maybe we see if we can get him on an inside fade route or something like that.
He's at the top of the screen. A Turner in the backfield. Give to Turner, nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go, stuffed. Eric Phillips made the stop. Jabari Taylor was there to fill the hole, and Cincinnati's defense steps up big.
Yeah, Jabari Taylor, great job. You know, anytime that you start to see repetition defensively, you play for it, right? You see everybody on that defense shuffle over to that right side of the offensive line where they've been continually getting gashed. No, we're not going to let this go down again. And good stop, forcing the field goal attempt in this windy ballpark.
James Turner, veteran. 19 of 21 on the year, long of 48. This is 47. Got plenty of distance, and he's got it. Big kick from James Turner adds to Louisville's lead. As we see the Louisville band, don't forget, coming up on ESPN, Florida taking on number 14, Oregon State, followed by Rice and Southern Miss and North Texas and Boise State. Then at 3:30 on ABC, Washington State takes on Fresno State. Then the nightcap, SMU and BYU. All games not only on ESPN and on ABC, but can be seen on that ESPN app as well. Full day of college football for you today on ESPN networks. Really kicking off bowl season. You know, Bowl Mania started yesterday, I guess, with the Bahamas Bowl. I still don't know how those guys get that assignment every year. But clearly, as I was watching that and looking out the window, and our weather, which was almost biblical here in Boston.
Yeah, you always see that one, and then you're like, oh, the Hawaii Bowl. That'd be a good Christmas vacation.
again. Let's see what he can do from the 4. I mean, he just hits it. Once again, an outstanding return from Donley. Gets it out to the 35. One of the big stories coming into this game for the coaching changes, Mark, that we've seen over the last couple of weeks. First, Luke Fickell leaves Cincinnati. I mean, Ohio through and through, right? Yeah. Stays in the area in terms of going to Wisconsin in the Big Ten. That opened up the door for Scott Satterfield, who makes the move from Louisville up the road to Cincinnati. And then Louisville was able to bring in the hometown kid in the Ring of Fame, Jeff Brom from Purdue.
Yeah, that name, Jeff Brom, was thrown around even before that date, right? December 5th, December 7th, not a lot of time in between there. And, heard from the athletic director, hey, we're gonna vet everyone. Obviously a guy who played in the Big Ten championship games, a guy that they're gonna look at. They looked at him, they liked him, they brought him.
Cam Wilson did a nice job defending on that play. Prater put a little air underneath it, trying to hook up with Will Pauling, and Wilson made the defensive play.
And they're going to need to continue to do this, whether they're completions or not. You have to loosen up this Louisville defense some with some down the field balls. And, it's not Prater's natural thing. Hey, we don't want to throw it deep all the time, but you got to loosen it up to get this run game going.
Quick pitch, right. That'll get it going to midfield and beyond in the Louisville territory.
Watch 51, the German giant running around the outside, 6'9", 335-pound, fifth-year senior leading the way.
Lawrence Metz, there he is, 6'9", 330. Great ping pong player, I understand.
Yeah, what?
It's his claim to fame. Prater to throw. Now he pulls it down. Needs to make a defender miss, and he stiff arms Montgomery, but he loses his footing. He's able to pick up just a couple.
Yeah, and you talk about ping pong player. This guy, he's from Germany. He comes here, he's on a recruiting visit, and all he wants to talk, he sees a ping pong table in their facility, right? All he wants to talk about is how good he is at playing ping pong. The coaches appreciate it, but turns out to be a pretty darn good offensive guard as well, and pretty smart. He masters in business analytics already as well.
That play's blowing up. That play had no chance. Thanks in large part to being defended beautifully by Rieger on the play. Rieger on the stop.
That was a nice hit. Play coming off the edge. Ooh. That ball got deflected right at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. On third down. Again, more pressure. More pressure by this defense, and there's a good look at Mark Ivey. His D-line is getting to work. They are getting to work today, for sure.
He's got to be really pleased with the performance that he's seen. Having a word with Kendrick Duncan. Doesn't want us to understand what he's saying. Read lips.
Yep.
Got it. Forcing another punt. Fletcher's gotten some work today for Cincinnati. End over end kick. Smith had a chance to return it, but he was met immediately by that Cincinnati Bearcat coverage team, Carson Pfeiffer.
And Mark Ivey, this is not just today, but this guy goes nuts. You see the tongue wag, that little tongue wag on the. This happens. We asked him about it. He goes, it's just natural. This doesn't happen naturally. He gets this going with his guys. He gets thrown around, and let me explain to you. These are not the same people, but they look so similar, and he has that same sort of mentality around him where he's going to do takedowns. He's going to be taken down in the game, and
had the cut on the forehead.
Yeah, it's not a football game without a little blood. That's awesome. I love when guys like that who the players respond to so well, get opportunity to call some plays, to be the DC, and you see the result, right? This defense is playing inspired.
What's going on, Kels?
Mark, I think that's my big takeaway too, is it's not just for show at the beginning of the game, and when he's jacked up like that, you see it throughout the entire game. He's been over here talking to his guys, maybe not getting quite as jacked up as he does pregame, but staying really engaged with him, and the guys feed off of his energy, and you see it in some of their leaders, some of the captains, guys like Momo Sanogo, also really active and involved on the sidelines.
We asked him about, he talked about one game, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago where he did not do that. And his D-line played terrible. So, you know, it's one of those, it also gets to be like a little bit of that superstition. I got to make sure we do that every game. And their defense has responded.
They played so well today, and their offensive line has as well. As you saw, Maurice Turner here spinning out of trouble, picking up the first down, still on his feet. Hard run. He's been contagious with that energy.
Like, it's very difficult not to think that Triple H shaved his head and put on a Louisville uniform. I mean, he got the veins in his neck popping, getting excited. And, you know, D-line something different, right? You go to the D-line room, whether it's NFL or college, I mean, it's just a different type of guy in there. And they
all junkyard dogs.
All of it. And, you know, just fierce mentality, and he's a coach that exemplifies that. Fun to watch them today. Look at that view from inside the monster.
That's from the scoreboard. Great view for a baseball game. Terrible for this game.
Yeah.
Look at all you can see is the back of the benches.
Yeah. Well,
you need to be up top on the green monster for this one.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that this is a seat that is, you know, a big seller for today.
The guy in the seat's getting paid.
Yeah. There you go.
Super cool to walk back in there. I don't know if you guys made it down in pregame. I got to actually walk all through there and talk to some of the people that sit here and put up the different numbers, and to see it and to see all the signatures on the walls. It's a place where even if you're not inside the monster, if you're out here walking around, you feel the rich history, but to be in that little bunker in there is pretty cool.
Yeah, great shot. You can see all the signatures from the people who've worked inside the scoreboard. And that cubby hole right there, you know, we talked about Carlton Fisk's home run. The most famous shot of that home run where he's waving it fair, that's from that vantage point right there. That's the camera shot. If it's fair, it's a home run, and it was, forcing Game 7 back in 1975. So that's a really cool shot.
Yeah.
Good work by our crew. By the way, our crew have been out here for the last few days in absolutely atrocious weather, setting everything up to bring you this game. So got a tip of the cap to our entire crew. They've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, the history in this stadium is just, you know, it's so cool. And, you know, in fact, that scoreboard is still an actively used scoreboard. Obviously got the digital one there too, but really fun to be here.
Yeah, you see some of the history here at Fenway as we wind down in this third quarter. It's been all cards. Bearcats got them out a comeback in the fourth. 24-7, Louisville on top here at the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. 24-7, Louisville on top. Little Neil Diamond to get us back into it. Everybody on the Green Monster excited about it. Why not? This is the only stadium where that's legit. You're gonna sing Sweet Caroline. You can do it here. I'll even give you at a Patriots game. I'll give you, you know, at a Celtics or Bruins game. I'll even give you Boston College. This is the town that's legit. Outside of that, you gotta come with your own song.
I can't tell you how many games we've called where that comes on and Chris is like, this is for Fenway.
It's not yours. Smith, that's a great passing catch.
Nice play. They've been trying to get Braden Smith the ball throughout this game. We've seen him throw the pass. We've seen him on the reverse. Just a really good corner route and a great delivery from Brock.
Well, Jeff Brom, we talked to him earlier. He has to be excited about that pass. That is right on the money. Moves the chains. Now into Cincinnati territory once again. Here's Smith in motion. He can throw it if he wants to, and he does. Second time today. This time he's picked. Amorian Smith makes the interception, and he's still on his feet. Finally tackled at the 40-yard line. Braden Smith's first pass of the day was overthrown, and that one was well underthrown and allowed Amorian Smith to come and make the pick.
Yeah, you know, it's just been, you went one too many times to the well. You know, this is the third time. This is the third time where they've given the ball to number 4, where he's had the opportunity to throw it. He threw one earlier, he pulled one down, didn't throw it, and that one, you know, it's not a trick play anymore when you've done it 4 times in a game. So heads up play by Cincinnati, and that could be the momentum changing play that gets Evan Prater going.
Cincinnati in that third quarter, just 40 yards of total offense on 13 plays. Trying to get something going on the ground, nothing doing.
Yeah, no, that's not going to work.
Ethan Wright dropped for a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, and you know, you understand coming out of halftime, hey, we need to get the run game going. Right now, you need to abandon the run. I mean, you need to spread it out. Your quarterback can run on his own, so let's get some crossing routes. We understand we're going to get pressure brought to us. Let's get some quick, easy throws and let have some catch and run.
You can see what they've done today, and that has certainly been hurt by 6 sacks. Overthrown, almost intercepted twice. First, it was Jarvis Brownlee who almost got it, and then it was almost a gift for Brown. Look at this.
Big Thomas trying to get out there. Get on that. I can't believe it. What do you mean you can't believe it? You haven't caught a pass in your career. I always did that when the ball got near me too.
Tuffy Thomas was almost, and Brownlee's gift falls incomplete. 3rd and 11. Cards come with 5. Overshot.
See, and that's why I want to see more of the crossing routes, the shallow routes, where you're throwing it out in front rather than throwing it at a receiver who's coming into the middle. Throw it to a receiver who's leaving the middle of the field towards the sideline. It just becomes safer, because if you have some of these overthrows, these misses, they're not landing where defenders are. Good stop regardless by Louisville.
Braden Smith back to return this Fletcher punt. Smith from his 15. Gets it back inside, brought down at the 20. There's the Wasabi Fenway Bowl trophy inside the Red Sox Hall of Fame. Champion going to be crowned in less than a quarter's time right here in Boston.
Yeah, it's been pressure, and it's been constant pressure, right? I mean, first you saw that one Momo Sanogo, and then it's just been a litany of Louisville Cardinals living in the backfield. They brought 5, they brought 4, they brought 6, they brought 7. They're bringing all-out pressure at times, just daring Evan Prater to throw the ball over their heads. And you see, this is not something new. 48 sacks, most in the FBS. TFL sacks. They are a havoc-creating team.
Nothing doing that time as big old Jawan Briggs put the stop on Jawar Jordan.
Jawan Briggs has had a good career in his time. Started at UVA, and we got to call some of his games there. And you know, how about your starting nose guard and your backup nose guard are both first team all-conference players? That's pretty good.
Another big run.
Goodness.
Inside of Cincinnati territory. forced out of bounds. Maurice Turner, both Jordan and Turner over 100 yards.
I mean, it's the right side of the line of scrimmage. It's just it's a really good block. Michael Gonzalez, the right guard, does a good job of getting the defender out of the way and then outrunning Ivan Pace to the sideline. This right side of the offensive line for Louisville has been outstanding, and they have gotten tons of production from the running backs. Ball on the ground.
On the ground now. Cincinnati picks up the fumble. Jabari Taylor fell on it.
Wow.
More words being exchanged. Coaches having to come out and separate players. Ruling that Turner was down. We might have to take a look at this one again.
You know, it's interesting. One of the things that happens after a long run by running back, usually you want to get to the line of scrimmage and do something fast, but the issue is this is a tired running back now. You know, he just sprinted 50 yards. He is obviously down before the ball comes out, but that's always something as a coach you need to keep your eye on is, hey, he just sprinted. Now, is he going to have trouble holding on to the football? And that's a good warning shot for Deion Branch there.
Timeout on the field. We'll take a break with it. There's the trophy. Going to be handed out shortly.
Hot Cloud Storage, built to store the world's data. And Amica, insurance that shows up for you.
Great seeing Lee Corso there, Howard Schnellenberger, Coach Kelly as well. A lot of great coaches have coached in this rivalry over the years. Kagan Ailes going to be awarded to the winner today. Been a while since they played, all the way back in 2013, the last time, and Louisville won on that day. Take a look at this replay. Looks like Turner was down, both the left and the right knee here, Mark.
Yeah, they both hit down, and did a good job bringing that to replay because it was right in the middle of the pile, but that was clear right there. Maurice Turner there, huge run. I mean, you think Jawar Jordan, man, 8 rushes, 113 yards. Maurice Turner comes around with 21 rushes for 134 yards. I mean, this, they're talking about the defense for Louisville, but the offense, the running game has been dominant.
Dominating. Turner again, bounces it outside. Nowhere to go. Knifing in to make the stop. It was Threets. Third down and long for the Cards. Let's see what Deion Branch, Josh Stepp, who's calling the plays today for Louisville. Having story here today. Cincinnati brings just 4, going to the end zone. That one is intercepted. Intercepted by Javon Hicks. Looking for some blockers in front. Brought down at the 24. Flag down on the play back toward the line of scrimmage. And again, some conversation going on the field.
Really, really easy interception for Hicks, but check this flag.
Holding offense number 70. The penalties decline. First down and 10.
And this is, this is just a single high. You see the single high safety, good depth initially, and it's just man-to-man across the board on all 4, and he does a good job. That's the only vertical route in the pass play. He leans that side and just an easy interception. Again, this high red zone defense for Cincinnati has been outstanding. Now they just got to get the ball down the field.
Yeah, you see those 3 turnovers by Louisville on the day. Cincinnati's been able to make nothing out of it. Another chance, though. Nothing. Prater, the give to right, stuffed. Maybe a yard at best. See, guys like Desmond Tell just clogging things up in the middle.
And we haven't seen any bubble screens, any quick passes out to the wide receivers, no catch and run plays, and just kind of feel like that's where it needs to go now.
Beyond the outstretched hands of Chris Scott. 3rd down. Frustrating day passing for Prater. 7 of 15, 83 yards. Had that 1 touchdown on that great play to Wyatt Fisher. It seems like forever ago.
Yeah, and a lot of those 83 yards were to Fisher on kind of broken plays. So, there's just been no rhythm offensively for Cincinnati. Large part of that is give credit to Louisville defense and their ability to stop the run.
Cardinals bring 5. Prater in all kinds of trouble and gets sacked. Just got hammered by Yaya.
Yaya Diaby, you see him, he's on a little stunt here, and he does not get that initial pressure, but you see just his ability to keep working, and he just, Evan Prater, you see it from a mile away, like, don't turn around. Oh boy. There he is. Good clean tackle by Yaya Diaby.
As soon as Diaby made that sack, Mark, I thought about the conversations I had with you as a defensive player. When Diaby's eyes must have lit up because he saw that coming.
Oh.
He saw Prater turning toward him and thought, I'm going to get a clean shot.
Yeah. Yeah, those thoughts defensively, when you know you're going to get that clean shot, you're like, oh, I'm going to break this dude in half. Right here, Dion, boom! Takes his lunch. He eats it, because that boy hungry.
Following us, 24-7, our score in the 4th quarter. Louisville using a ferocious defensive front today, getting this lead over Cincinnati here in the 4th quarter. And again, Maurice Turner. This time, not a whole lot doing that time. Juwan Briggs on the stop, joined by Ivan Pace. For more on the Pace brothers, let's send it down to Kelsey.
Pace has just been spectacular since he joined the Cincinnati team. He was playing at Miami of Ohio, and then his brother, who's also a linebacker, Deshaun Pace, said, why don't you come play here? So when he decided to transfer, it was here where he ended up. The guys have obviously been playing football together for a long time. And when I talked to Ivan, he said his dad is really his role model, guys, and his hero. Kind of cool story, because as we've talked a lot, as we see this defense just suffocate the offense again, as we talked a lot about Kerry Combs, the interim head coach, he actually coached the Pace brothers' father back in high school. So how cool is that full circle moment for these guys to play with him as the interim head coach?
Yeah, both the Pace brothers went to Coleraine, and their father did as well. And Coach Combs, many years coaching that school, that high school here in Northwest Cincinnati. There's a good look at Deshaun. Convinced his brother, his older brother Ivan, to come to Cincinnati. It's worked out for both of them, and Ivan, first team All-American.
And yeah, I think it's cool, right? You talk about a head coach and the experience of coaching a father, and then however many years later coaching both sons. I mean, it's just got to be a cool feeling, and obviously at different levels. And that's the thing, that realization that can make you feel old at times. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing old or nothing. He's got the fight and fire about him, Kerry Combs does, and it's apparent when you talk to him, his attitude. The players love playing for him. They were very happy that he got this, he was anointed this interim head coach role.
Yeah, you saw there that, obviously a legendary high school coach in the Cincinnati area, but experience coaching at Ohio State and at the NFL level with the Titans.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. He's done it all. Again, it's always a tough transition when you're that established high school legend, but he's done a great job with it.
Wow, Smith with a good catch. Outstanding catch by Braden Smith. He's showing out today along with Jalen Carter at that wideout spot for the Cards.
Braden Smith, a senior on this team, as he comes on the sideline.
Do everything right. It's just a perfect pass, perfect catch. Cards moving once again, mixing up the pass and the run beautifully. Jawar Jordan back in the game. Had a huge first half. It's been more Maurice Turner in the second. Jordan. Great look at that outside stretch play, that zone play that made so famous here with the Cardinals. Kelsey, what do you got?
Well, we were talking about Mark Ivy earlier and how animated he is on the sidelines. I've seen a lot of this same stuff from Kerry Combs. He is so fired up. Was talking to his defense earlier after that interception, telling him to keep fighting, that we're still not done. When I talked to Evan Prater this week about the opportunity to play for him, he said he is just a ball of energy. He's something that totally attracts the whole team's attention.
Yeah, still fighting. Still with the intensity here in the fourth quarter. Carter out of bounds. This time it's Chris Bell, the other big receiver. He and Carter are both kind of from the same mold at 6'2", 220. Difference is Bell's a true freshman, number 80. Got a player down.
Like brothers helping each other out there.
Yeah, Ivan Pace doing everything today. We'll take a quick break. 24-7, Louisville on top. Semifinals, the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, Michigan and TCU. That's on the 31st. And then I'm telling you, Atlanta is going to be lit up for this one. Ohio State, Georgia, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, New Year's Eve. You don't want to miss either one of those games, or any of the games we have later on today as well. Heading to Las Vegas after our game. Got Oregon State, Florida, full slate the rest of the day. Turner, this time bottled up. Pace involved in that play. Clock winding inside of 6 minutes. Louisville more than happy to take their time in between plays. Turner dancing his way, Pace again, racking up the tackles, flag after the play.
There's some talking going on, it looks like.
Shermanator was involved, number 44.
Look at that guy. That is a Shermanator.
Yes, no doubt. The helmet all scratched up.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 7. The penalty enforced half the distance to the goal line and includes an automatic first down.
Jaheim Thomas, got to make sure you don't lose your head in a situation like this.
Yeah, you never want the camera ISO on you because of that. And you see number 7. Yep, that's what happens. You know, you can't shove someone in the back of the head. Nope.
First and goal for the Cardinals. 10th play of this drive. Exactly what the doctor ordered for this Cardinal team with Deion Branch running that clock down.
Whoa, ball.
Ball on the ground. That's not exactly what the doctor ordered.
No, and the ball just never got from Brock to Maurice.
Cincinnati ball.
Tell you what, this, you know, it's lopsided score, but this red zone defense for Cincinnati, it's been something spectacular.
Ryan Mullaney with the second fumble recovery of the day.
And you see there, it's that short, you know, tries to pull out and carry out that boot fake. But, you know, that angle, the running back, that's a set angle. So you got to make sure you get the ball to them. They've been good all day. Costly penalty. Not penalty, costly turnover.
Yeah, 4 turnovers on the day for the Cardinals. That's been the lone blemish on what has really been an outstanding day all around.
Yeah, without the turnovers in this red zone, this could be a much different lopsided score. Now, Cincinnati has done absolutely nothing offensively when they've gotten those turnovers.
Miles Montgomery on the carry. Gets out to the 8. Fans check out the ESPN app for the Capital One postgame immediately following the game. Trophy presentation, interviews with MVPs. Kelsey will handle the heavy lifting in the postgame. Montgomery battling.
You think about how weird it is, right? Jeff Brom and Scott Satterfield, they're back in their respective cities, hosting recruits back at their home campus. And so it's like, that's my team out there playing.
Right.
Over the years, you talk to coaches who have had to miss a game for whatever, their illness or something, where they're away from their team on game day. And it's just a very unnatural feeling for these guys. This has got to be one of those unnatural type days for them.
Montgomery. Knocked down, couldn't quite fight off the tackle of Kendrick Duncan. And that's going to bring up 4th down. Yeah, coach is coach. Back to my studio days when you'd have a coach who just left the year before, and now he's doing television work. Man, it would just watching games all day long. You can tell they were just itching to coach.
Like, coach, like, relax your hands. Like they're gripping their hands together.
Yelling at the television screen to do this or that.
Their knuckles are white and they're in the studio. It's like, oh, coach, it's okay. But it just, I think the exciting part about it, right, is both these teams are in pretty good positions, right? No coach left because, oh man, my team's terrible, or they got fired. There's a lot of upside and bright side
Cincinnati
in the future for both these teams, and they've got to be excited to get back and get under that tutelage of their new coaches.
Cincinnati calls timeout on the field. Mark Hertzlick and Chris Cotter with you here at Fenway. Been a really fun day, unique experience to call a football game here, and it's been a great day for the Cardinals. That defense came to play, and the offense, despite the 4 turnovers, doing enough, especially in the running game, to get them the dub.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's been cool to see some of these younger running backs. Again, we talk about Jordan. He's had a lot of opportunities over the past couple of weeks. But Maurice Turner has been phenomenal too.
Yeah.
They've been doing really good things. The offensive line has been put together really well. Mark Ivy, we mentioned him a bunch, but being this DC for today, it's just been more of the same in terms of dominant front 7 by this defense, just daring Cincinnati to put it over their heads. But Cincinnati's going to go for it on 4th down here. Not much to lose in this situation. 7th field position, full start.
Full start. Offense, number 1. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
They'll lose 5 yards, and will this change their minds? It will. Bring Mason Fletcher back on to punt.
Chris, how you doing, by the way? I'm up here in this down parka jacket with the fur-lined hood and everything, and you're in a suit, just being absolutely tough guy out here.
Oh, yeah, it was a lot better in the first half. It's gotten a little gotten colder and windier. And that sun came out for 38 seconds. It literally did today, and then it peeked back behind the clouds, and we hadn't seen it since.
Nice little tease. Don't even need to ask Kelsey how she's doing. I know she's championing the sidelines.
She's saying right now, how dare you even talk about being cold. Smith should just let this one bounce. He falls on it dangerously, and Louisville will take over there at the 46. Time now for a Capital One player of the game. We're going to make it players of the game, since this backfield was so dominant for Louisville. Both Maurice Turner and Jawar Jordan over 100 yards each, and Jordan with the 2 big plays in the first half, the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and it was Jawar Jordan's first half and Maurice Turner's second half. Maurice Turner finished, look at those numbers from Maurice Turner, finishing this game up right. But the running game, and obviously running backs can't do it without the offensive line. They're obviously been playing really well, but on the season, Maurice Turner had 154 yards. He has 143 yards in this game alone. Obviously a breakout game for him. Phenomenal start as a true freshman for this Cardinals team.
Think about this Louisville backfield room too at the start of the year. It was deep. Turner.
Here he goes again.
Yep. 10. Down after a gain of about 10. Pace finally brought him down and lifts him up out of a show of respect. But think about it, they had really 4 top-notch running backs with Mitchell and Jordan and Turner and Cooley, and now they're down to 2. I mean, we have 2 for this game for Louisville, and they've both shown out great.
I mean, they've been shown. Anytime you get left with scraps and your scraps are better than the real meal, it's not a bad thing, right? You know, sometimes the leftovers at Thanksgiving taste even a little bit better. These guys are not going to be leftovers anymore. They're going to be a huge part of this next game, and with that run, he has surpassed his season total in 1 game.
That's great. Credit also to Trevor Reed, Michael Gonzalez, Caleb Chandler, the center Brian Hudson, Adonis Boone, Renato Brown. That offensive line has been phenomenal today.
Yeah, and all season. You know, those 6-7 guys have been in there all year long, and a big part of the reason why they had that big streak, that 5-game win streak, middle of the season.
Grant Goodman getting the ball carry. Here's Pesky's pole. Hadn't really been down in the red zone very much today, so it hadn't gotten in our way much.
Nope.
Ooh. Cardinals continuing just to grind this one out on the ground. Final minute of action.
There's Deion Branch. You can go 1-0.
Yep. He'll be back next year as Director of Player Development. You can see what he means to the players there.
And you know what's funny? We talked to him. Oh, there you go. Hey, get an ice bath on a freezing cold day.
Yeah, I'm definitely not the coldest one in this stadium anymore.
No. He's got a lot of good, like, not good hair, amazing hair to deflect a lot of that, which is nice. But yeah, we talked to him. He said, you know, there's going to be some point in this game where, you know, I've told my wife, told my kids, hey, I'm not going to be a head coach. You know, it's too much time. But at some point during this game, I'm going to be like, nah, I could see myself being a head coach one day. That time might be right. Maybe not now, but maybe 30 seconds ago before he had cold water poured on him.
You can see still coaching right to the end. Won't have to take another snap.
There you go. There's the athletic director with the keg of nails.
Hands it off to Jarvis Brownlee, and he'll bring it over to his team.
Oh, man.
3rd straight win in this rivalry for Louisville. They retain the keg of nails. Coach Combs and Branch meeting to shake hands. There's the keg. First the keg and nails, and then the championship trophy for the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Kelsey's down on the field with the winning coach.
Well, as if it wasn't already cold enough, you just got an ice bath that I know means a lot to you. To get this win in this place with these guys, can you describe the feeling?
Oh, it's everything. I mean, I think just overall with all the things that have transpired in the past 2 weeks, Coach Satterfield taking a new job, and these young men are kind of in and out, feeling different emotions and not knowing whether they want to go to transfer portal or not. I'm super happy, super excited, not only for the players, but also all of my assistant coaches who hung around and stuck it out with these guys, with myself, and allowed and helped me steer these guys in the right direction.
You talked this week about the way the coaching staff had stepped up, but also these players who, throughout the year, many of them hadn't gotten many opportunities, and we saw a lot of them shine tonight. What was that like?
It was everything. I mean, we knew it going into the game. It was the battle of the assistant coaches, and it was a battle of the backups. And it was just all about, and I told the guys, the team that's going to win the game is going to be you guys, mainly in particular because our team is better. You know what I'm saying? And I know that I feel it deep down inside. These guys work very hard each and every day, and they came out and showed it today.
You played in the Keg of Nails rivalry. You won the Keg of Nails rivalry before. Now you've done it as an interim head coach.
Yeah.
What does that mean when you can see those guys hoist it up?
It's everything. I think this is a rich, traditional rivalry game that we need to bring back. And it's needed, and here it is. It's proof in the pudding right now to see the excitement from these guys. Took a little while going into the game, but we got it going.
I see the way that you're looking at them right now, wanting to get over there, Coach. Go enjoy celebrating with your team. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Kelsey. 24/7. Our final, Keg and Ale stays in Louisville, and a great job by Coach Branch today in getting this team ready over the last couple of weeks from an interim basis.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's been a great effort by both teams, by both coaching staffs. You know, by Combs getting his guys ready for this game, by Deion Branch getting his guys ready for this game. And, you know, what a meaningful bowl game. How often do you get a bowl game that also is a rivalry game? Just a fantastic day.
Don't forget about the post-game show presented by Capital One. That's coming up on the ESPN app. Once again, our final score, 24-7. Louisville with the win. Let's send it to the studio. Matt Berry and crew, take it over, guys.
Chris Cotter, thank you so much. SRS Distribution Las Vegas.